Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Magic Mics, proudly sponsored by our Patreon supporters and CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, and our co-sponsor CardHoarder.com, offering the best inventory prices and delivery of cards for Magic Online. I'm Evan Irwin, and we get started each week by saying hello to my two co-hosts, Aaron Campbell.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Ruben Bressler.
Bah humbug. You made me come in on Christmas
Eve.
What are you?
He did.
Ebenezer Scrooge over here? Come on.
Ebenezer, that's right. Get
Ebenezer
right.
Scrooge win.
Wow.
That's true. Yeah, we don't know why we're here either.
What's going on? Wizards has no updates officially for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
But tonight we're here. We're having a little bit of a shorter show because there's not a whole lot to talk about. So that means the giveaway has been shortened to 30 minutes.
Right.
So at 11:30 Eastern Standard, we're going to cut off that thing and be giving the stuff away thereafter. We're hoping to have a show that lasts that long, because if you want to get your chance at a $50 gift certificate to CoolStuffInc.com, type !Raffle in the chat. But first, subscribe to get 2 chances to win. And don't forget our raid at the end of the show to support a member of the community. Enter your suggestions at the end of the show to see who we raid tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first pick this week is Kaldheim stuff. Now, there's Kaldheim stuff that we're not going to talk about.
Nope.
Those are leaky, spoilery stuff. That's not official. But
a lot of leaks out there. Some of them confirm fake. Some of them could go either way. But we, like a lot of content creators, we've decided that we will acknowledge that leaks have happened, but we will not tell you specifically what they are. So if you want to know more, you know exactly where to find them. But we will not perpetuate that.
Right. As a Magic News show, I can tell you that there is news of leaked cards. Do you want to know? That is up to you.
And there are news outlets out there in the Magic the Gathering community that will show them to you if you wish to go seek them out. But we have decided to not do that. We're also not a competitive podcast. We don't really care exactly like what the hot new tech is.
Right.
So, it's no skin off our back to not specifically talk about the cards, but we can talk about the promotion, which has been super unique.
Yes.
And the new trailer that dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the new trailer, I'll put a link here in the description. It came out, I want to say like a day or so after our last show from last week, and it's very different. We've had these sort of experiences where Wizards has tried to kind of tell a narrative, right? Like they wore the spark, right? Just unbelievably sweet, right up at the top. They did a great job with that. So much emotion and feeling. The direction was fantastic. What happened to those people? Did you forget to hire those people again the next couple of times? It was great in Eldraine. Theros was a disaster. Ikoria was fun. And now we're at like this, and Zendikar was like this, they really went on the narrative. And now they kind of really went on we'll show you some clips and stuff, and here's a minute of stuff, and bye.
Well, this is very less is more, which I like, and which leads me to believe that what the more is going to be stellar. And so I don't know enough about Kaldheim to really judge. I'm not really a metal fan, so that really hasn't lured me in. But I'm optimistic,
Sure.
I think that the mix of aesthetics that they're putting together, the Viking stuff, the metal stuff, the MTG lore stuff, all of the things that they're putting together, the new Planeswalkers and how they're going to interact with the story, I think it's just a really cool aesthetic that they've put together that creates something new and unique. It's very, very much like how War of the Spark was a meeting of like 5 or 6 different types of storylines. This feels a lot like that, where they're like, what if we added a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of that and try and see if it all comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see them kind of do something, I don't know, just different, I guess. I mean, there was a point.
We've been asking for a Viking world forever.
Yes.
Since this show started, at the very least.
Yes. We definitely wanted the Viking Norse stuff to happen, and they've definitely leaned in on it. There was an article that came out, again, the day after we were talking about it last week, called Collecting Kaldheim. I'll bring that up on the screen here so we can take a look at it. And it kind of tells you, as they've done for the past couple sets, hey, we're making a ton of variant versions of kind of everything in their own way. And you can definitely see it at this point affecting the pathways, because the pathways have this secret layer thing coming out, just like the fetches did.
Right.
No one is excited about this one, and this one isn't going to be anywhere as close as successful, aka as expensive.
Sure.
In some ways is good, but like seriously, the pathways are the best freaking dual lands since Alpha, so like it should be amazing. But
that's a bold statement.
That is hey, prove me wrong.
And they
But-
put
I
it
think
in
it's
a,
wrong.
they put it in a
I'm just saying
land
those are big
set.
shoes to
So
fill.
it's
yeah.
very
they,
big shoes to
they
fill.
put it in the land set and they did a great job. So like ultimately these should be very exciting. But the problem is they kind of look exactly like the collector pack versions that already exist, which is
Yeah.
its own problem.
I also like that going to specifically about the pathways, that they made the Zendikar flavored ones for the secret lair, and that the ones that are in Kaldheim are Kaldheimish.
Yes,
like they
Kaldheim
have
like.
that flavor to them. They have very obviously different artist aesthetics and art direction.
Yeah, so for the showcase Viking Legends, they have this incredible kind of etched border thing going
Yep,
on.
they've got the Celtic kind of knots and stuff.
yeah,
Like runes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. So, so the rough, powerful feel of the frames, as they call them.
Sure.
They worked on the frames first. It definitely looks like they did so.
Yeah.
And of course, borderless.
Is that your
Planeswalker-
buddy? Is that your buddy that was in at Cool Stuff for a while that did the frames?
I don't think so. I'm not seeing his name here. This would be Mr. Daniel Holt, but I
Okay.
don't see him here.
'Cause I know Daniel Holt did the
Wait, that's
storybook
the
frames.
Daniel?
Yeah.
Wait, the Daniel, the one who loves Kamigawa?
Yeah.
That's your boy from Florida?
Yeah, he was my employee
Shut
for
up.
like a year. Yeah, and then he
Okay,
went to
yeah, I
Corporate
love
Wizards.
him. I didn't know
I
that
think
was like
that-
your friend. Okay.
Well, I know that Daniel did some of the other frames for some of the other cards, was why I was asking. But
Yes, and
it doesn't. It's fine.
Sure, it's just one of those things where it's been great because I can only imagine what Daniel tells like R&D in the pit when they see me
Yeah.
like going off on Twitter, and then Daniel's like, what he's really saying is blah 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 blah, because you tweet one thing, you say another in the office.
Oh, Evan.
Sometimes explos are involved. We don't know. But Collecting Kaldheim does have a bunch of really cool different versions. They start with those. They keep going with the borderless planeswalkers, again, as they have done for a while now. We've got those sweet borderless pathways, which are really cool. And something about redacted. I don't know what's going on with that, but okay.
I mean,
Sure.
they want to save some stuff.
There's the
Sure.
Shannon R here on Pyre of Heroes, which is the weird
The birthing pod thing.
Thank you. I was thinking Blinking Pod. I was like, Blinking Pod, Birthing Pod.
Yeah.
And Realm Walker here, which is cool too.
Yeah.
Hey, sagas, multicolor sagas are dope.
Those are amazing. I love the sagas. I love the art style is so different from traditional Magic the Gathering art. I would be okay if Magic cards just all looked like this. Like, it has the tall... We used to call it like the hot dog instead of the hamburger when you were folding papers in like kindergarten. I love that style. This is like a wood etching for Showdown of the Scalds, which is amazing. And I love every time sagas show up.
This is interesting. I actually didn't notice this until just now. The collector boosters contain one rare saga in them, in every single collector booster.
Really?
A thematic Kaldheim rare that isn't found in draft boosters, or one of the Kaldheim Commander deck rares or mythic rares. That's pretty exciting in and of itself.
Weird. So
which
there's 5 thematic Kaldheim rares that aren't in draft boosters, which I think they've done before.
I mean, perhaps. This is where, they've talked about, this is where we've already talked about some previews and spoilers before, because those were some of the cards that they mentioned, the stuff about the Giant's Grasp that we talked about, stuff like that. So apparently that's part of it, which is a thing. I hope the sagas are cool, because that's the only way you can get them.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Well, no, I think that what they're saying is that they would either be a saga or one of the 5 rares that don't appear in booster packs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Tree Shaker Chimera, for example, was not in booster packs for Theros. Like, I don't think that the sagas are the rares. I think those are 2 different things.
Well, either way, they talk about here that the booster fund stuff is coming to MG Arena, where they have different treatments for those. The Buy a Box card and style for Realm Walker, which apparently is the Buy a Box card, as I'm finding this out reading it. You can get the 45 count pack bundle to get a Realm Walker card in its card style, and of course you can go all in to get 2 of them. And they have these sweet flip gods. We talked about this one last week with Halvar, God of Battle, which is cool. And
You're really drawing this art, aren't you?
leave me alone. I have nothing to talk about on this.
Wow.
Look, once we're past this, I have nothing official to discuss. We are literally looking at the end of my topic list, mostly.
God.
Fine, we're moving on. Gather the Townsfolk. There will be new judge promos.
Yes.
These
oh my
are
God.
cool. Super
That
duper cool.
Gitrog is amazing.
The art style on the Gitrog is
I'll bring it up. Give me a second.
gross.
I love it.
What is happening in this art for the Gitrog monster?
That
Nils
tongue.
Hom. Nils Hom is another one of those artists that just gives you horror, and just I love this so much. You know, the original Gitrog famously gave you that profile view, and this one is staring you right in the face, giving you this wild tongue that like you can see the textures on. Like the tongue has like these pocks or these pores, and I love this so much.
No, it's gross. It makes me. It makes me very deeply uncomfortable.
2021's foils have a theme of legendary creatures. Commander really started, of course, with judges, as Gavin notes here.
It's so cute. I love it.
So Gitrog
the
monster.
bones underneath it. My only quibble. I just don't like foils.
Also, if you have tryptophobia, don't look at this Gitrog monster. Sorry, we didn't give that content warning because this.
The closer you look,
is that where you're afraid of like weird holes or
weird holes
surfaces?
and stuff?
Okay,
Yeah.
got
stuff,
it.
yeah. And of course, all right here being, if this works, there's the Nicol Bolas, the Ravager, showing
God,
up.
this makes me
Nicol
so.
Solus. Look at
This
how
I
buff
like.
it.
This
Wow.
is this I can look at. This is some Magic the Gathering card art, as opposed to just
So
nightmare
this
fuel.
to me looks like it's so interesting between the two. This one looks like it's got a really heavy Snapchat filter on it, whereas like the Gitrog has like pores and like flaws and like you know just
it looks like Nils Hom left the Gitrog monster painting in his attic for a year.
yeah, and Nicol looks like just a really heavy Snapchat filter. Like
Yeah,
just
Nicol. That's Nicol Bolas's Tinder profile picture.
right.
That's the one you got to look and make sure that something's not like weirdly angled. They didn't do some Instagram realities or whatever.
God, I
Right.
hate that Gitrog
Weird
monster.
anime eyes.
I love the art. I hate looking at it. I can't.
fair.
I honestly am very uncomfortable
It's
with
almost
that
like
art.
there's like little like a mouth on the
No,
tongue.
it's just I can't.
If it weren't foil, I would definitely snatch one up. But foils, you know, the quality of foils is just not there, and I just don't want that weird puffy Pringle experience. So
The Puffy Pringle experience. Okay, moving on from
Sponsor us,
Puffy
Pringles.
Pringle experiences. Aaron, why don't you tell us about hashtag MTG Holidays?
yeah, so MTG Holidays was a hashtag that was recently started by several cosplayers in the community who decided to do a Christmas take on various planeswalkers. So Adam Barnello did Garruk. You had Lady Lavinius who did like a winter-themed Nahiri, which was really popular. Tarmocat did like a Marin kind of planeswalker Christmas thing with the skull and mistletoe. And if you really just click on the hashtag, you'll just see a nice bevy of planeswalkers here. Mythic Michaela did an Arlen Cord. You had Grinch Bolus at one point, Holiday Sorin, Rowan, the red-nosed reindeer. This is really, really cool and just a really great way for cosplayers to, you know, be able to channel their craft because obviously we can't go to conventions. And so, you know, they're struggling in their own way as well. And so you have a Judith here. And what's crazy about this is that it seems like in a lot of these cases, these were done pretty quickly.
Yes.
So if I love hearing just the way that cosplayers like, it's a miracle that I'm wearing this. Do you know how much energy it took to put on normal pants and a sweater and a bra for this show? These
Wait, you guys are wearing
with-
normal pants?
Are you wearing a bra, Ruben?
Are you?
But
We're supposed to be wearing pants?
Are we wearing pants?
yes, but my point is that they're able to do this with things that are probably laying around their house, and so that takes a certain level of, you know, craftiness and skill, and just hats off to them for that.
Yeah, the hashtag game from the Magic the Gathering cosplay community this year as a whole, MTG Goth Girl Squad, MTG Bunny, now MTG Holidays, has been really kind of inspiring how you get a subculture within a subculture to come
Well, Goth
together.
Girl Squad was really just for everybody. That wasn't
Yes.
like that was like if you're a girl and you own black, get in here.
Yes. but the cosplay community latched onto it and then took it in a whole
It was a
nother-
very inclusive thing, essentially.
Yeah.
Right, and but again, all the cosplayers and all I was just using it as they've had like a half dozen of these sort of cosplayer created hashtags, and they've sort of taken off. You also buried the lead, Aaron. We didn't talk about Santa Garruk, which is like right in your wheelhouse. This is Adam Barnello made Santa Garruk. And I don't know why we weren't talking about Santa Garruk.
We
Santa
talked about
Garruk.
that in the pre-show.
Yeah, you want all the deets on Santa
I'm a
Garruk.
huge fan of Adam and
Step on my roof and deliver some gifts is what I'm asking
Yes,
for that.
deliver
Santa.
the gifts, please, and thank
I'm
you.
not doing this.
That's all right. All
Oh
right.
my God.
Well, there is more giving going around rather in the community. If you look at Mountain Mage here on Twitter, I'm going to link it
cool.
right here. Every year they hold a charity, the MTG Raffle, through their Facebook group that benefits underprivileged kids. So you can check it out to win maybe some awesome Magic prizes.
Quite a few raffles going around this season. Chase Carroll, Mana Curves, she did I believe a Chandra-thon, where it was like a Chandra-themed marathon of Commander games to raise money. Gotta mention my boyfriend, his show Scrap Trawlers. They raised over $600 for No Kid Goes Hungry or No Kid Hungry.
That's great.
And I think Kess might be doing something too.
I think Kess is.
Quite a few marathons or streams that I've seen going on to raise money, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's terrific. And I remember at one point you mentioned your boyfriend had been not super happy with that. Dude, I've never raised $600 for nothing.
Well, this was before, this was early on.
Seriously.
It took a little while to get the ball rolling, and then when it really started spinning, he was really happy with the turnout.
Well,
I'm not sure I've raised money for charity with any of my content ever. I don't think I have. Because I'm a selfish bastard. Right. But also, I'm not very good at organizing. And it requires a lot of putting in real hours of researching the charities, getting all of the bells and whistles ready for whatever the stream or the promotion is going to be. There's a lot of work, back-end work that goes into these charity streams, and particularly at the end of the year when we see all these amazing promotions being done by people. It's fantastic. So Mountain Mage is also has a Twitch, so you can give Mountain Mage a follow, and is giving away a ton of great stuff. I mean, just crazy art and signed cards and just everything.
Yeah, play mats and the whole bit. So one of the community members, Bradley Rose, who does a lot on TikTok, at least I've seen.
Yeah.
He had a really cool post recently. Let's see if we can bring it up here.
This one almost moved me to tears.
This was really touching, yeah.
So Bradley, I'm under the impression, is hard of hearing or prefers sign language. And so they really resonated with a character from Battle Bond who also uses sign language predominantly. And so, somebody made them a stuffed animal of this character, and things of that nature. And then they really wanted to get some art to, commemorate this character. And, a lot of art can be pretty expensive. And so they found a more affordable way to do this. And the artist not only gave him artist proofs, they also gave him the drawing of what it was supposed to be on the card.
Yeah, the original.
And so this is really, really great. Obviously representation matters, but this is the kind we don't often talk about. We spend a lot of time talking about genders and things like that, but there is a community out there that reacts very well, or there's a need for blind characters or deaf characters or things like that. And so this was really, really wholesome to watch.
Yeah, really excellent.
Yeah, I know Bradley's been, doing things like teaching people how to say things in sign language or magic words in sign language and stuff like that, which was great. And this was really fun to watch and see.
And also one of the hosts of Magic Design Cast.
Good head of hair.
Probably where you may have heard of him from.
Yeah,
this is great.
And it's also one of those things that there's little things that you can do to help out these types of communities. Like, for example, I always make sure to put descriptions on any picture I post on Twitter.
On Twitter, yeah.
Because
it's a good way to do it.
It hurts, costs me 10 seconds or whatever. But, if it's not, literally, I think maybe the spoiler reveal shows, I don't do that always.
I've started using...
else, I use the description.
I've started using webcaptioner.com for my streams.
Oh, nice.
Just a very easy subtitles website that you can just crop out the window for and put it on your stream, just to try to help out stuff for those who can't necessarily listen as easily.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's move on here to Desperate Ravings. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Now, we talked about a few weeks ago that there was a big problem with Dragonlance.
Right.
Margaret Weiss, and Tracy Hickman voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit without prejudice. Now, without
legendary author Margaret Weiss.
Weiss. Yes, and so they dismissed it without prejudice. That means that they could still go back and sue if they wanted to, The prejudice part means you can't do it anymore.
Well, it sounds like a settlement might have also occurred.
Right.
Like, she seemed pretty geeked in that tweet.
Yeah.
There's an exclamation point or two in Margaret Weiss's tweet, which sounds to me like an agreement was come to.
Yes.
And so I'm interested to see if we ever hear anything about what happened here.
We probably won't, but
it sounds to me like Margaret Weiss withdrew the case.
Yes. Or their legal team. She tweets here, I know some of you have seen that our lawsuit against WotC was dismissed. I can't say anything yet, but watch for exciting news in the weeks to come, and thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, that's not a tweet of somebody who's going hungry.
Yeah.
Right. Something went poorly wrong, and they're not going to
I'm
get their stuff
hoping
published.
this means we get new Dragonlance stuff at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Speaking of new D&D stuff, didn't you get like a little gift bundle, Ruben?
I did. Do you want me to go get it? I'll go get it real quick. I am wearing
This
pants.
is the week to go get a D&D bundle that was sent to you randomly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the holiday Magic Mics. So this suit in and of itself is...
Get my headphones back on real quick.
Yeah, it's very indicative of Wizards.
Wow, that is a box.
This box?
That's
Check,
a
this
heck
is
of a box.
huge, right? It looks like a book.
Right.
And it's got like a Christmas design on the
Wow,
cover.
that's neat. Okay.
D20, I
And
like it.
inside of it, now, not everything, I've taken it a little bit apart.
Oh my
but
goodness.
initially, this was presented like this, with a D20 right here. And I'll show you the D20 in a second.
Oh, that's
And there's
rad.
a little thing on the front that says, Dear fellow adventurer, 'twas the week before midwinter, and all through the house, a D20 was rolled in the game we espouse. Please accept these tokens of thanks for your endless goodwill, including a tumbler and crystals and coffee to swill. 2020 had advantage. What was up with this year? Let's ring in the next with all of the cheer. Thank you for being a bright star in the Dungeons & Dragons community. Sincerely, the D&D Wizards team.
Dude, that's awesome.
So that was very nice. And this is a D&D D20 with Swarovski crystals in it.
Jeez.
It's like the fanciest thing I own.
Come on, budget.
And it had a bunch of other stuff in this box, including...
It matches your Maserati.
Whoops. There's a Tasha's Cauldron of Everything alternate art in here. We got some D&D socks.
Wow.
D&D
Which are
socks.
cool. And then this sticker also has Swarovski crystals on it for some reason.
Oh, come on.
Which is hilarious. And then there was also coffee beans.
Okay.
But those are down in my kitchen.
You know what that reminds me of? The book there. This is a reference like three of you will understand. It reminds me of an episode of The Golden Girls when Blanche discovered her dad's Bible, and it ended up like she opened it up and there was like a groove in there and there was a bottle of booze there.
We'll put that in the background. Does that show up on screen? I don't know if that...
A little bit. If you scoot it over to the left a little
You
bit.
have the most eclectic background I've ever seen.
Between
Like,
I'll put it by the hammer.
Thank you.
and-
Somebody in the chat. No thanks. I don't drink. Thank you.
I'll put it by the... Yeah, you can't really see it.
It's fine. Yeah, right there if you had an invisible
Beneath
shelf.
Daddy's
beneath
Bible.
the fishing rope and
and the hammer.
antlers. And my
God.
fish. My foam fish is back here.
It's been a week, everybody.
so
I want you to
foam
know.
fish.
This is how we bring in
Let's move along.
the holidays. All right. Well, I wish there was more to go on beyond, hey, this is what with prejudice and without prejudice means. And this is how Wizards works, which is something happens in the background. You hear something else about it.
We're never
something
gonna
else happens. You'll never
No.
know what exactly went on. And
So because we have so much time to kill, we can do like a holiday MA. Like if you want to ask us questions.
Ooh, holiday
within reason.
MA is a good one.
That's right.
I'm looking at my Swarovski crystals now.
something about the crystals.
Come on, Evan.
Why are they Swarovski?
Swarovski.
So
So you know what I think of every time I
Swarovski?
think of
I've never heard
Swarovski
of that in my
crystals?
life.
I think of, do you remember when Britney had the big Oops performance where she ripped off her suit and then she did like the whole thing? She was covered in Swarovski crystals. And
Yeah.
so whenever I hear Swarovski, I think of the crystals that,
Swarovski.
Swarovski is like a famous crystal
Someone's asking
company.
which golden girl is my spirit queen. That would obviously be Blanche. I have the Blanche Funko. I'm the Blanche of the group. I'm the Samantha of the group for the Sex and the City fans out there. That's sort of my
Which one am
my
I?
niche. You would be.
for Sex and the City and for Golden Girls.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, for Golden Girls, gosh, probably a Sophia type.
Okay, I'll take it.
I think the Sophia types.
Yeah.
Great. Is that the oldest one?
It's Estelle Getty. Picture this.
Yeah. The one who's like
there are
the
Golden Girl
fast
Funkos.
talking?
Yes, I do have the Blanche one. It's in my closet. So
cool. So
any special or weird traditions we have for the holidays?
Well, usually I'm at home, aka in Ohio, for the holidays. I have gone to my Aunt Linda's house every year for Christmas since I can remember. In Granville, in Alexandria, Ohio. And the whole extended family gets together and we play Dirty Santa or White Elephant Gift Exchange.
Oh.
And like 40 of us are in this gift exchange every year. It's humongous. And the children, the girl children, all get matching sets of onesie pajamas every year. Aunt Linda reads it was the night before Christmas to all of the kids in the bedroom every year. And yeah, that's our tradition. But I'm in California this year because screw going in airports. Am I right, people?
I mean, yeah.
And Evan, you normally make the pilgrimage to Tennessee.
Right. And normally I have the yearly, screaming at my children and asking what went wrong and who hit who and why were you playing with that in the first place. There's a whole, menagerie of yearly things I got to enjoy as I put all my children together in a small cabin in Tennessee.
And usually there's no internet, right? Like
and
you
there's
guys
no internet.
rough it. Yeah,
absolutely zero. There's the cable TV. Remember cable TV? I get a little bit of that when I go there. Of like commercials that you can't skip or pay a premium to get around. It's weird. It's so odd.
That's wild. Somebody's asking, do you guys consider Die Hard a holiday movie?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
That's a Christmas movie.
It's a holiday movie. It takes place on Christmas.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's Christmas.
It is a Hanukkah movie.
Hey, man, holiday
well,
works
here's one
me.
for you.
No
I saw an
problem.
interesting tweet the other day. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
It's both.
It's
both.
It straddles. You know what I'm saying?
both.
I'm trying to be polarizing. It keeps us chatting.
Oh,
It's true.
that's fair.
Why?
I'm trying to
Take
think
a
of-
stand. We need to go to the red zone over if it's a
Right.
holiday.
I'm trying to think
or
of
Halloween.
like if there are any controversial Christmas movies. I mean, all of the Harry Potter movies are Christmas movies.
Yeah, but we don't talk about them anymore.
Right. We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't talk about Harry Potter anymore. I mean, what else happens on Christmas?
Batman Returns, I would accept that
Batman
as a
Returns is a
Christmas
Christmas movie.
It's a fun
Yes.
one, yeah.
Batman Returns.
Gremlins
is
is definitely a Christmas movie.
absolutely.
Sex in the City or Sex and the City.
Yes.
I mean, I still love Harry Potter. I don't love the person who created it.
Right. I have the same disconnect that I do with Orson Scott Card, which is I loved Ender's Game. The person is an absolute piece of trash.
You can
He's
love a
trash person.
Picasso painting and know that Pablo Picasso is a garbage human.
Yeah, you can enjoy problematic media. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, so long as you acknowledge its problem.
Yeah.
Like, I love RuPaul's Drag Race, and I have a lot of friends who are, trans, who obviously feel a certain way about RuPaul, and they're allowed to feel that way. And I understand that Ru does not have the greatest opinions on things, but I do love the, I have my favorites, and I love it, and I have my favorite queens, and I have my favorite gifts, and so you can definitely do both. It's when you like the thing and refuse to acknowledge that, where you're like, nope,
Right.
isn't happening. It's like, it's happening. Like,
I mean, and don't watch the movie Ender's Game that was trash.
I was going to say, wasn't there a movie?
with Harrison
Home
Ford.
Alone.
and
Home
it was-
Alone.
Iron Man 3 was the other one that I really like as a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay.
That was a weird one.
Favorite MTG character whose cards you never play? I mean,
I never got to play a lot with Kiora. Whether it was the last
sure.
one in War of the Spark that just untapped permanents or whatever, or back when they just made like bad planeswalkers for a while, and Kiora just kind of caught the bad planeswalker bug back, in the Theros days or whatever. And not a lot of her.
I don't
played.
play a ton of blue decks, so I would say Narset.
I want to know how the Royal Scions is somehow an
Jace.
unplayable Magic card. I don't know
I've
how
played a lot of
that
Jace,
card is
so.
unplayable. I don't get it.
I mean, every character, I can't think of a character I've liked,
Actually,
but I have not found a
A
reason to play
lot
their
of the
card.
people on the Weatherlight had garbage cards for a really long time and still do, and so I don't get to play with Gerard and Miri and
Yeah, but
the
they're not
rest of the crew.
planeswalkers, though, right?
That's
So-
fair.
It said characters,
Oh,
right?
they say characters? Okay. Yeah, those cards were bad. Like, they were just trash, which is unfortunate.
true.
You know what we need more of is stuff like Koth of the Hammer. That would be cool. Koth,
Yeah,
whose
Koth
initials
is a
were
good one.
Koth. You know, that was really fun.
D&D character whose MTG card I'm looking forward to. Beholders. I'm waiting for Xanathar to come out.
Aren't those the flying eye things?
Flying eyeballs.
Okay.
Let's see if we
Look at the boy. He's got it within arm's reach. Arm's reach. This is why he gets the gifts from wizards. And we go, is a beholder the eye thing? You know?
Yeah.
He's over here with his crystallized
I've also got
D20.
my tabbed book.
The boy's got tabs. Look at it. It's even color coded.
Tabs. Yeah, beholders are
Those guys.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
So there's
Oh, it's
probably
actually
going
on
to
the
be
cover. Actually
I
on the
would-
cover of the monster manual.
Right. I would hope that there would be a legendary one and then like
Yes.
some normal
Xanathar.
ones. You know?
Xanathar is a
That's
megalomaniacal
dope.
mob boss.
That's very cool.
That would be very
who
cool.
is very similar to a current administration of some kind. And he is just a crazy mob boss person who is obsessed with his pet goldfish.
I want, you know
that
what I
would be
want to
great.
come to Magic? I want I think it's the Mind Flayers, the ones that put the tentacles through your skull and like,
Yep. The Illithids,
Yes.
the Mind Flayers are
Yes.
also dope.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
Keep talking amongst yourselves while I look this up.
Like I think as much as Aaron wants to be Blanche, I think you're more of a Dorothy. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm feeling a Beatrice Arthur. Just saying. Well, you're not a Betty White, right? You're not
No.
Rose. You're not like just walking through the world or whatever and things happen to you.
There's your new boyfriend, Aaron.
Hey.
Heyo.
What
Give
them
me those-
tentacles do.
Get, yeah.
Give me
What
that
them
brain.
tentacles
I'll give you
do.
brain.
Wow.
I mean, you know,
Wow.
Dorothy, very smart. Little, you know,
But Dorothy doesn't
neurotic.
have much of a love life.
Doesn't have much of a love
I'm
life.
always, my dance card's full. Like, yeah.
For the past year, it's been pretty full up. Good to go.
For the past year. It has been
Oh,
with
intellect
one amazing
devourers!
dude.
I should
okay?
show Aaron. Aaron, you're gonna like an intellect devourer if you like getting
we go.
brain.
Ruben, do you know that the Urban Dictionary exists? Jesus.
I know what I'm saying.
All right.
That isn't that guy adorable? Look at this guy.
That guy is
Look,
pretty
he's a
adorable.
brain with legs.
He's a brain with
He's
legs.
a
Ladies and
kitty.
gentlemen, thank you for tuning in this week to talk about brains with legs. This has been incredible entertainment we were able to provide
I'm not
you.
big on the Tarrasque. I am actually not a big fan of the Tarrasque. Which is
There-
like all you need to do is just fly around it, and then you win.
It turns out that for splash damage, last little bit here for this week, because this is silly to me. Heather Hudson at Candle Monkey H on Twitter. That Heather Hudson.
This was so random.
This was really weird and out of nowhere.
Apparently, she says Magic players are having Jason Momoa sign her 1998 card Hermit
And how
Druid.
does she know this? Like, does she know Jason Momoa? Like,
She clearly got wind of it, and
Huh.
she says, "I'm confused, but good on Jason Momoa for being patient."
Yeah.
she's like 1998, not
okay, so
actually Jason
unpopular
Momoa.
opinion. I don't think Jason Momoa is sexy. I just
Ooh.
don't. Yeah, no.
Ooh,
Wow, that is a red zone.
Whoa,
Jason Momoa
ladies and gentlemen, we go
is
straight to the red
the
zone.
Dothraki of my dreams. No, we don't actually
He
have to
was
go
the
to red zone.
Dothraki guy, like really?
Yeah, he's the guy that's gonna
Well,
make the
okay,
child
so
that
there's
mounts
a
the world.
difference though. So Drago, yes.
Oh,
Momoa,
but not Jason Momoa.
Oh, too much
Interesting.
of the comedic
So no
silliness?
Aquaman.
no,
No Aquaman.
No Aquaman.
Okay,
no.
Really?
interesting.
Wow.
See, Jason Momoa feels like it should be dead center. Aaron
Like
Campbell's
right in
like,
the
No, he
groove.
just-
file
No.
save.
No.
No, interesting.
No, it doesn't. No. All right.
No, it's weird. Is it a little bit too much of the hippy dippy? Is it a little?
Yeah, it's a little crunchy. I feel like we should be
Okay.
canning beats at some point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks like he's hanging out with Travis Wu. I get what you're saying.
All right, we're going to move on here to the finisher. This week is Yule Festivus. Wassail? wassail, and of course Christmas. And this is also the last regular program of this God's forsaken year, since next week is the 5th annual Magic Micsmas. So if you were to introduce a new award category for this terrible year's edition of the Micsmas, what would you add to the docket? Aaron?
Well, we've had a few notable missteps this year, from leaks to hashtag PR nightmares to just plain old bad ideas. There are a ton of possible nominees for the 2020 Magic Micsmas Bless Your Heart Award.
Just stepped right in it and just went, no.
Bless your heart.
Bless it. Just, Ruben?
Well, we've seen no shortage of product releases this year, and not just main sets. From Year of the Rat in January to Commander Collection earlier this month, there have been a ton of new products. Perhaps even too many. So product release of the year could very easily be a category, but we all know the only possible winner for the apocalyptical year that is 2020 is Secret Lair The Walking Dead. Don't open. Dead inside.
Yeah.
And I'm also dead inside.
Right. We're all dead inside as of this year. It's gross. Well, with all of the need for socially distant ways to play Magic this year, we've seen an influx of need for companies to support that new normal. Spell Table, MTG Melee, Mana Strike, and a myriad of new streaming add-ons and programs, just to name just a few. So if I were to introduce a new topic, it would be Best New Magic App, better known as, quote, the MTG Portal Memorial Award.
MTG Portal.
You remember they put that on the side of booster boxes? Side of booster boxes, y'all.
Oh, Portal.
That's crazy. Well, that is another live episode of Magic Mics. Thanks for joining us here to discuss all things Magic. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you for having me, and happy holiday, everybody. Be safe.
That's right. Thank you, Ruben.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
That's right. We move to our final slide. Goodness gracious. I want to thank our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com, our co-sponsor, CardHoarder.com, my co-hosts, Aaron Campbell and Ruben Bressler. You guys for watching or listening, and hope you support us on Patreon.com/MagicMics. Please follow, like, tweet, favorite, share, subscribe to everything social that tells people we exist. Catch us online on our Discord, twitch.tv at Magic Mics, on Twitter at Magic Mics Cast, our Magic Mics subreddit, and like the Magic Mics page on Facebook. Or join us here next week, same time, same place, for another episode of Magic Mics. Good night, everybody.